how do I describe the person in first point of view when the whole book is in first point of view? Ah, okay. So this is asking if your book is in first person, so using I and my. Actually, all of my books are first person from this trilogy. They're all first person. So how do you describe the main character, how they look, when we don't really describe ourselves, if that makes sense? So my advice with this, first don't use a mirror. I used to do that, but it's actually extremely amateurish, because even when you look in the mirror, you don't really describe yourself. Like, you're not thinking about, oh, I have brown hair and blue eyes and all that. The only time you really like notice something is when something is different or when you hate something. It's just really awkward, and it kind of breaks the fourth wall if you use a mirror. So my advice is to use other people. Use other people to describe your main character. You can use parents. The parents can describe the child, like, oh, you look so much like your mother. Or maybe they don't like each other and they'll be like, oh, I wish you didn't have like your dad's body type or something like that. You can use friends. Friends usually give you the most compliments. Usually if you're a girl. Usually guys, they don't really give themselves very detailed compliments. They'll just say stuff like, oh, you're looking sharp. Like, they don't really like describe anything. But girls would be like, oh, I love your hair that short, and you should really dye your hair that color more often. They really notice the details. I think one of the best ones to use is bullies, actually, because everyone has like some flaws or something they're insecure about. Bullies will like point out stuff about you that you would not want to describe yourself as. A fun one you can use is Infatuated Crushes. You can have like a side character that's just like obsessed with your main character, and then they can talk about how they look and all of that. Friends of the family. I know like anyone who's my mom's friend or coworker, they'll point out, oh, you look exactly like your mom. You guys look like sisters, stuff like that. Use other characters to describe what your main character looks like. Don't use your main character to describe what your main character looks like, because it's not that we don't describe ourselves, it's just that it's weird in writing. And so if you do that, it'll like break the fourth wall, and the reader will kind of lose the, not expansion of reality, what's it called? Suspension of reality. There's a term, I learned it in video game design, but the suspension of reality is when you want to make them believe that they are in that world. And so you don't want to break the fourth wall or the suspension of reality. I think it's called suspension. I'll have to check.